Good morning, and thanks for tuning in to episode 7 of the What's Your 20 podcast. I'm your host, EPD Special Projects Coordinator Taylor Maris, and joining me this week is AIU Detective, FBI TFO, and FOP President Aaron McCormick. I'm sure there are a lot more that I can add on to that, but we'll just stick to those 3 for now. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about you, how long you've been on the department, what you've done on the department, things like that.
Well, I've been blessed. I've had a wonderful career so far. I feel like I'm just started, but I've been on for 16 years now. Yeah. My first 8 were on the road. Yeah. In patrol.
And you loved your partner. You loved the partner you had. You guys had a good time.
We had a great relationship. We started off early and we stuck it out. It was nearly pretty much since we finished our probationary year. We were riding together until we both about the same time made a detective. But even through FTO and all that stuff, we're still partners.
Yeah,
so
you guys always had that partner car that people kind of remember. Like there are certain partner cars that people just remember, and that was one of them.
We should say his name, Dave Smith.
Yep, Dave and Mac. So you were partners with him. You were an FTO as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many people did you train? Do you remember?
I couldn't give you an exact.
You were one that got a lot of them, though.
Yeah. We were busy. We were hiring a lot of people. And I got into it about 4 years into it. And even with 4 years, I was like, are you sure you guys want me to do this?
Right. You want me to train the new people?
Yeah. I always thought around year 5. But I had some officers and people I really respected that had more time on than me. And they said, hey, Aaron, I think it's time for you to step up and maybe think about training. Yeah. And so I took their advice and applied. And, about 4.5 years got FTO and then immediately went into training. And that's a challenging. I think that's one of the most important jobs.
Absolutely.
On a police department.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you're the ones who are teaching them everything.
Yeah. Essentially, you're a supervisor for that one person, but you take them under your wing and they trust you, and you got to carry them through the day and through the shift. Make sure they get home. You get home at the end of the night. Everybody else gets home at the end of the night while trying to learn how to do this very challenging job.
Right, and it sets the pace of what kind of officer or who they're going to be for the next 20 years.
Oh,
because they take all that with them.
Yeah. They always said the first 3 years of your career really makes you for the rest of your career.
They sure do. Mm-hmm. But since those first 8 years, you've been back in the Adult Investigative Unit. So the Adult Investigative Unit specifically handles felonies?
Yes.
Okay. So specifically handles felonies. Is there a certain level of felonies that you specifically get, or do you get the whole range? Yeah. Level 1 through level 6?
Yeah. So all of our detectives are capable of handling any case. Okay. They get the training. They initially start off with interview schools, homicide investigations. So as soon as they're put back there, they're put to the test. But of course, we have an office of about 20 detectives, maybe 18 now, but somewhere around 20 between 3 different shifts. And it's a huge teamwork system that we have up there, and we really work well together. But everybody handles everything. And now there are some detectives that have a little bit of specialty training on certain things. I have some cell phone experience with the cell phone carriers and stuff like that that I can help other officers or other detectives with, or if they have questions, they come to me and I'll help them with that. But majority, everybody gets their fair share of cases. I think a good way to sum up AIU, Adult Investigations Unit, is violent crime and property.
Sure. Yeah.
In the felony range.
And we're going to talk with Detective Oakley next month about what it takes to file a case report, the investigatory work that goes into it. So we'll kind of break that down at the beginning of next month. He'll be on the show, so he can talk a little bit more about that. But you're also an FBI task force officer. So can you talk about that a little bit as well?
Yeah. So back in 2019, I came on board with the FBI as a task force officer, and it's just an extra tool that the Evansville Police Department has on the federal side. We don't have all the tools and resources. We have a lot, but we don't have all of them. And where the federal government could come in and help us alongside, help with these complex investigations or tools that we don't have, such as a dive team to search a body of water for items or things, and or evidence recovery of special natures, and just many more tools. They have resources that we have access to that instead of us reaching out and said, hey, can you help us with this? We have somebody in the inside that can go ahead and start filing that paperwork and talking to the right people to get those things, get those balls rolling. Yeah,
that's great. But I really want to mostly talk to you about the FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police. You're the president,
I am.
But you have been involved with the FOP as far as I can remember, so at least 9 years. But you've probably been involved since you came on the department. Is that fair to say, or
I'd say
a little bit after that?
I think your 9-10 years is pretty accurate.
Okay.
When I first got on, I wasn't quite involved. I went to a few meetings here and there.
Yeah.
But about 10 years ago, I found value in it, and under the leadership of Larry Nelson, great man.
I agree.
A great leader, and so I saw some value in it, and I stuck with it and got involved and got put on the executive board and kind of moved my way up. Learned from a lot of great leaders within that organization, and here I am, my second term as president of the Evansville FOP. We have about 650 members locally.
That's amazing. So that's Evansville Police Department.
Correct.
Vanderbilt County Sheriff's Office.
Correct.
Anybody else?
Yeah, we have a few federal agents in there. We have some state ISP. We have conservation, but we're not their whole agency's not with us. It's just local local members that they have their, like the Indiana State Police has the Indiana State Police Alliance, which is their organization. Okay. But they can still join us to be part of our program as well.
And what is to explain it to those listening, how does the FOP supplement, or how does the FOP benefit its officers or those that are in the membership?
Yeah, so the FOP, its primary goal is to improve the working conditions of its membership.
Okay.
It also serves as a labor initiative. We are a collective bargaining agreement for the city police officers and the county deputies as well.
And how does that work? Can you explain that too?
Yeah. So, for example, the Evansville Police Department, all of the members of the sworn officers we work under a contract. We have certain rights provided to us through that contract, and they're legally binding. And they range from a variety of things: vacation days, family days, what your overtime rate is, as well as Bill of Rights for officers. We as officers have rights as well, and there's grievance procedures, just a whole list of things. And then also very important to officers is benefits, salaries, and stuff like that. So
that's something. Fairly recently, you've sat down with the chief and the mayor's office, and you're kind of a little bit of a voice for the agency too, in a sense, for the officers of what they want, to see.
Yeah, exactly. So the FOP formed a committee, contract committee. We've actually carried from last year, 2023, the same committee that worked very hard in 2023. We carried them straight over to 2024. And just a little over 2 weeks ago, we met with city administration. And we're in talks now, and really looking forward to how that'll play out.
Very good, very good. And that's the FOP. A lot of people are familiar, especially if you go to Guns and Hoses, because you know that the best place to go to after that is FOP 73
I agree.
To enjoy the wins or the losses.
Yeah,
but
either way.
A lot of people don't realize about the camp that we have out on Happy Road.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that and the PAL camp?
Yeah. So the PAL camp is our what we call a foundation. It's a 501c3, and every day we come to work and we want to serve the community, and we do a great job here in Evansville. But the FOP wanted to do something even more. And during the Gullidge, when he was president, he started the 501c3, which used to be one of the chiefs of police here in Evansville. Started the 501c, the PAL Foundation, and it's a way to give back to children in the community that are unfortunate, that have fallen on rough times. And there's so many things throughout the year that foundation and our membership provide to the community throughout the year. And it's just a beautiful piece of property out there. I love it. It's got a lake, got shelter houses, got a a fairly large building, playgrounds.
Setups for campers.
Yeah, and our canines train out there as well. It's just camper. You can hook up camper.
And our canine cemetery is right there next to it as well. Yeah. One of my favorite things to see every year, pictures of, I need to go to it because it really does kind of inspire me. Mm-hmm. But our bomb squad puts together Easter eggs that are audible. Yeah. So those that are seeing impaired can hear where the Easter egg is. Yeah. And I think that is so cool. And I really need to go out there and experience that. But that's just an example of something that the PAL camp would be used for, or to help not even underprivileged kids, but those that, there's a need to help. Mm-hmm. And I've never heard of other places doing that.
No.
I don't know if you have, but.
Not off the top of my head, no. But yeah, those are just one of the Easter egg hunt. I mean, we tell people all the time, and I experience it. Once you do it once, you'll never not come again, because you just always want to be a part of that. Because right before that, we offer all of our members and their children an Easter egg hunt. Mm-hmm. Too much candy, but then we say, hey, wait a second, we need to help those who are, with disabilities, and let them enjoy what we enjoy. Yeah. And then we have a hayride in October.
Mm-hmm. And that's for special needs
too. For special needs. We have underprivileged Christmas for children at our elementary schools.
It's always cool to see which officers come out for that too, because it's not the ones I would expect. So that's what I love seeing, that because, like sometimes the rough and gruff officers are the ones that are spearheading it, or the ones that are really, really involved in it. And it's really great to see that and see the kids happy just to receive a gift.
Just watching that moment when usually it's Phil Lukey counting down, open your presents, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as soon as those kids open those presents, they're just seeing them. Your heart melts, and you just enjoy and appreciate what you have, and it's nice to pass that along.
If somebody was listening and wanted to be involved in the PAL camp, or contribute, or just needs some resources from the FOP PAL camp, is there a way they can do that?
Yeah, so we have a website. It's EvansvilleFOP73.com. Mm-hmm. There's a link to the PAL Foundation, PAL. There's a link, and there's just ways that you can show that you can get involved. You can do donations, or you yourself can volunteer, and you can actually become a member of the FOP if you're in the public, as long as you know an officer within the Evansville, or membership, Vanderbilt County Sheriff's Office or Evansville Police Department, whoever. As long as you have a sponsor, you become a member of the FOP under the auxiliary lodge, and
they do a lot as well.
Oh yeah,
I see their post on social media. They contribute a lot too.
They're great. They do a Christmas party for the membership's children, the Easter eggs hunt, and then a lot of things through the years. And one thing that they really do, they really step up when families are in need. If we have an injured officer, just someone who's in the hospital, they'll drop what they're doing, go make sure the family's taken care of, snacks, whatever they need at the hospital. I know in the past they've done where membership they have a child, they'll get a little gift bag and stuff like that. So yeah, the auxiliary is fantastic. They comprise of membership's spouses. So we really encourage them to get involved as well. So it's a really great program.
And they're really involved at the state level too.
Oh yeah, we actually have local members that are on the state board, and then I think we have someone on the national committee as well.
That's amazing.
So, yeah,
because I know I've been to a few, and I hate that I have to say that, but a few law enforcement officers' funerals in the past year or two, and seeing them work and what fantastic. They do, just when there's a line of duty death, and I know you know the numbers, how many officers have died in the line of duty this year alone?
This year alone, we've had in the nation 193 officers who've been shot in the line of duty while working the street.
Wow.
And then, and unfortunately, 26 of them have passed away. Yes.
To see the FOP come together and how they orchestrate the whole funeral arrangement and the process, and everybody knows their role, that's something from an FOP standpoint I think that has been most empowering to me.
Indiana has the best, in my opinion, line of duty memorial team, where there's a team all over the state if they get the call that they need to respond to a community that's lost an officer in the line of duty, they'll stop whatever they're doing, and they will walk alongside that agency, because, I mean, just imagine, losing someone and then having to plan a funeral on top of that. That would be very difficult.
Right.
So that's where this memorial team comes in and say, hey, we're here to help you.
And they're good.
And they are fantastic.
Yeah, because I remember when we were at Officer Glenn's funeral in Tell City, there was a line of duty death right outside of Indianapolis that day.
Yeah.
And they got the notification, and they're like, well, I guess we're just going to go straight from here to that city and start working. And so it's a job that is very much needed. And thank you to the members, the auxiliary, the associates, those that are involved in all of that, because that's a huge stress reliever for the family and agency involved. Is there anything in particular you want to talk about on the show about the FOP that...
I think we hit a lot of parts. The FOP, its membership is strong. We have 100% participation with the Evansville Police Department, and about 99% with the Vanderbilt County Sheriff's Office. We encourage those that are getting hired to get involved, become a member, because it's not there are a lot of benefits that come with being a member. The contract agreements, but also legal defense. Can you talk about that a little bit? Yeah. It's essentially like you don't want to drive a car around town without insurance, because either you're going to hit or someone's going to hit you, and you don't want to not be covered.
And it's illegal.
So legal defense is just essentially a fund that guarantees a police officer, an attorney,
support you in a time of crisis when you might need somebody.
Exactly. So we have great representation here in Evansville. They're always available. So that's a huge benefit for the police officer, and a little bit of peace of mind too. Yeah. Knowing these officers are going out on the street, making life altering decisions in a blink of an eye. So. It's important. And I imagine, as being a president of, the FOP doesn't consider themselves a union technically, but it's similar. Would you say? I would almost say it's pretty close to a union. It's a labor union. So that's got to be kind of hard for you, and relationships on the department, because you're trying to support those that think they need assistance or need change, but then also work for your boss, who you have to bring those to. But, I'm happy to say that, this year, I feel like the FOP and the police department, we've been doing great things together. I agree. And I'm really thankful that you're on the show to kind of talk about the FOP and what all you and your people are doing for our agency, because it's tough work. No, it is. And ultimately, the FOP doesn't exist here unless you have law enforcement. And my job every day is to come in and be a police officer with the Evansville Police Department. That's number one. Yeah. And then number two is the FOP, and to make sure the membership is, being treated fairly and just as anybody should in any business. Yeah, absolutely. And, there's no job out there that's perfect, I don't think. I haven't heard of it. Otherwise, I think we'd all be flocking it. But I will tell you, Evansville Police Department is a great place to work. And, like you said, this year has been amazing with the administration, Chief Smith and Assistant Chief Hassler. There's been an open line communication, and we just love that. That's great. And that's the talk of the town. We love it, and we want that. Yeah, we want that to continue, because relationships do matter. They do, and we see the value in that, and it's my goal to make sure to maintain that relationship moving forward. Perfect. And talking about relationships too, kind of talking about events that the FOP has. So at our FOP, there are times where sometimes they'll purchase UFC or there'll be special events going on that are open to the public. Yeah. And that'd be a good opportunity too to get involved, or if you know somebody, to come on inside. And I'll mention a couple of those real quick. Okay, perfect. So the FOP is a private organization, so you need a key to get in or whatever. But there are nights where we have open night. There's a member, Dan Deeg. He has a trivia night. You know who started that? You were part of that. It was my idea. It was your idea. It was and a lot of people don't know that. Man, that was when I used to be the manager. A lot of people don't know that either. Well, no, that was a great thing, and it's still going strong. I think I'll probably misquote this, but like something around 100
That wouldn't surprise me because it's probably been over 5 years.
Yeah, so that's been going on, and so yeah, it's open to the public every other Tuesdays. If you get on our Facebook page, or it's Evansville FOP number 73 is our Facebook page. See what we're doing. It's the Facebook page is open to public, so you can kind of see what we're doing and what we're doing in the community and at our own lodge. But yeah, open night for that. We also have we're doing a treasure hunts every Monday.
I get those texts, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so you buy a ticket, buy as many tickets as you want. They're $1 a piece.
Yeah.
But you come in on a Monday, and you can buy a ticket anytime during the week while we're open. But what we do, if your name gets drawn, you have a number on the ticket, and we go to a board, and if your number's drawn and your name's drawn and the number, you get the prize. Oh. There's some in which I think we're up to maybe $4,000 as a jackpot. Now, that's nothing compared to some of these like Washington, Indiana, where they've been
really
hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think there's one over on Franklin Street. Now,
does this stuff get like taxed? Like, would I only come out with like $200 kind of thing?
Well, if I think it's over $5.99, I think you got to do a W-9 or something like that.
Yeah, a WN.
Yeah, something.
One of those.
You gotta let the government know you want a little money. But no, we're under. We have a gaming license.
Right.
We're all legit there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, there's a couple things there, and then Super Bowl stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We're there. But if you become an auxiliary member, or excuse me, an associate member, you get key to the place. You can come in and come and go as you please to the bar restaurant side, and
the food's good.
Food's not bad.
Yeah,
it's a good
I don't
short
know
order.
if there's been any changes, but even just the simple old cheeseburger is a good cheeseburger.
Yeah, no, it's all real good, and a lot of guys and gals that work the street like to come in there during their meal just to get away, quiet it down for a minute. Mm-hmm. Have a nice clean facility to use, and just kind of get out of the public view for a few minutes and have a nice relaxing dinner, and then go right back out there and
absolutely
handle runs.
And a lot of times you see them leaving from their meal from there to go to a run because something serious happened. So the FOP is kind of a safe haven in a way for officers to take their meals at.
It is.
And
we always want that to be there for them. We're not there to make make profits, but it's just something there to be there for the officers, for the membership.
Support system.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some food.
And a little bit.
And some water.
And some water.
Yeah. An event every now and
then. At no charge. Yeah. And then, of course, guns and hoses, afterwards. That's always a great time of, both sides coming together and just so celebrating what the true meaning of that event is.
Right,
Which is another great local 501c3 that, there's several in town that are,
there are
supported by law enforcement.
There are
Evansville Police Foundation, 911 Gives Hope, and then our own FOP PAL Foundation. Great stuff.
It is great. Well, Mac, thank you for being on the show.
Is our time up already?
Our time is up. Is there? Do you want to cover? Is there some other?
No. I think we did. I think we did great.
Are you sure?
That's just a quick half.
Last second.
No, cut it.
You sure?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to the What's Your 20 podcast. You can tune in again on July 20th to hear from financial crimes detective Nathan Van Cleve. Make sure to subscribe and follow our Spotify and YouTube accounts to stay up to date on all podcast releases. Have a good weekend.